Hello friends, welcome to my canvas inspired by Klimt, and I have these magazine papers in this box here that I got from a bunch of magazines from the library. When they just old, they let me have whatever I wanted, and they're basically movie magazines, actors in them and stuff like that. A few strips of other paper that I have from other magazines, but this is basically the base of my canvas. So what I thought I would do is, because this was actually a live stream with Nikki Parr, and we were doing this live stream on International Crafters, I thought I'd try out recording it and doing kind of a fast over of what I was doing. So instead of painting the people, I decided to use a magazine because, sometimes people just want to do a collage, or sometimes people find it a little difficult to paint somebody. So I thought I'd do something different, and Nikki sketched hers all by hand and painted hers, and I just collaged my people down. So I used decoupage, whatever you want to call it, however you pronounce it, from DecoArts, and I used very little. I didn't soak it, and I wanted to scrape it down and just take most of the bubbles out. I was really careful. And I used a card to just scrape it down and flatten it out as best as I could there. Did the same with that. I had these magazine characters from X-Files, and I decided to do this. So this is the kind of inspired by the painting that is called, I believe, Crying Gold Tears, I think, Golden Tears, I think it was called. So I was inspired by that painting, and so I just put some white gesso, and I put premium white gesso from DecoArts, and it's in the tube, and if you've seen the tube there, I hope you did. And I'm putting the gesso all the way down, and this is a panel, canvas panel. There's that tube, and it's pretty coarse, and it's nothing fancy, it's a cheaper brand. So I wanted to put that down as my base, the gesso, and dry that up a bit. I didn't knock out the drying time, so this is quite the video. I didn't cut too much out at all, actually. I just speed through it, so bear with me on that. So I'm going here with these different golden colors and yellows, and I'm going to read off the colors that I have. I have raw sienna. I also have gold, but the gold is put on, you'll see when I put that on. I was also using the, I think it's Hansa's yellow medium, or Hansa. Yes, Hansa. And raw umber is the brown that I've used in here. I've also used I can't say this, quindacridone gold hue, and that's one of the colors as well. So, and this is the raw umber with that, and I had the lighter and the darker kind of gold yellow, which would be the quindacridone, if I could say that properly, and probably the Hansa yellow medium. Tough words, I don't know why I can't say them. So the center here, where I'm scraping, I'm putting a little bit of yellow and all that stuff there too, but on top of that I scrape the actual gold acrylic paint from these tubes on there, and that's the gold I was telling you about. It's just called gold. So I'm getting my background, my base in there, and I wanted it to be blocky looking. That's why I did a lot of blocking on there. So I have my translucent white, and that's what I used today. Oh no, this is the gesso. But any white I did add for the faces would have been the translucent white. But I did add gesso down, and I made her a gown, and I was going step by step and kind of thinking in ways of really comparing it to the original piece as hey, work on the dress, work on this is what I want to add. But it's quite similar, but quite different at the same time. So yeah. but I kind of wanted to keep with the flow of how his paintings were. I had the couple on one side and I had the single person crying on the other side. And so I followed that, and that's what I wanted to do. It's a little different, obviously, quite a bit different, but it's got that same flowiness, and you could tell that I think you can tell that I was inspired by this artist. So, the reason I did the twirling on the hair is one reason is I went crazy with it is because other paintings, sorry, the dogs just dropped a bone. What's that tree called? The Tree of Life, I believe it's called. And I was inspired to do the twirly-doos just to add that little extra piece that he does in some of his paintings, in his tree paintings. So, yeah, that's when I decided to do really some twirlies in his hair. And do that. So I got some like that, this nice color of a reddish. Let's see if I can find it. I snapped some pictures of the colors. This is the Cordacidome gold hue on top of the black that I'm doing right now. In the premium acrylic paint that's Americana DecoArt. And I just like the lights that it picks up on the black, so I really like that. So when I gessoed the gown, I just moved on to the hair, and I kind of just worked that way, where I went back and forth, and decided to work that way. So now I'm trying to figure, well, I had in mind I want to add poppies, and that's another aspect that Klimt, Klimt, his name is, I can say it properly, he had a lot of poppy paintings, and I wanted to add a little bit of that in there as well. So I decided that, being before, that I wanted to put poppies in this painting somewhere. And I just decided to put them on the dress. I love painting poppies on my own, and one of the backgrounds that I commonly use is like a yellow tone, or a yellow, maybe a greeny yellow, or mix a little yellow and blue so it's not totally green, but just like scraping it along. So I always use a bit of yellow in my background of poppies because I love the way they pop against that background. So I just did her dress in yellow, which kind of went with the design of the style of his paintings anyhow. I did the red poppies, and I did some of the stems, and that's my dress. I really like the way it came down, and kind of almost like a little bit of poppies at the bottom, and yeah, I don't know, I really like it. So there's my poppy dress. I also do my centers and the blacks. I think this might be where I'm doing it, or I'm just... And that's where I think I'm doing right here, and touching up a little bit. So I'm just doing piece by piece and what I kind of planned. So after I work on the dress, I move on to the other side, and then I just kind of work on that painting. There. I really love the way the dress turned out. It's really cute. So now it's time to move to the other side and paint this guy. I decided to pick a male face because I wanted to be really opposite of the original painter in that aspect, and I thought it would be really neat to do a masculine painting, like of using the same thing. I could have closed his eyes, like the original painting had her eyes closed, and she's tearing up, crying gold. I left it open. I really like that. And then I decided that because the painting was black and white, I decided to keep the skin very pale and gray almost, and have that maybe a kind of vampire-y look. I don't know if that's a thing, but just that kind of mystical look. He had a black jacket on and whatnot, and I changed that to having no shirt on, and just put that out there like that. And I wasn't too worried about all this part here, but I just kind of play with that just a few seconds, or just get some kind of like a body, shoulders and whatnot going over there. So in this area I was using a little bit at first gesso, as well as the translucent white afterwards too, but I wanted to get a little bit of the base of the gesso in there. I did his eyes as well, and I did a bit of blue. Now the blue that I used, now this one's a tough blue to say, I think, and I just did a little bit of that, this blue, and of course the light is now shining. The light is shining. Just gonna check what kind of blue. It's called Celerine, maybe? Cerulean blue. Me and my pronunciation. And then I got the red on his lips, and I really water it to get it to spread out. I didn't want to wet it or make it pink, so I didn't want to add the pink, and this cadmium red hue that I put on his lips, and I just put it on the edge of his lips, and I just really pulled it through, and then I put a little white over, you know, just to whiten it up after it was really dry, just to tap it on there. Then you can see that me doing that right there. So then didn't want to mix it in and make it pink. No pink lips. So just shading, and I really like the grays and that kind of thing, so I just kept that with the skin, and I really enjoyed that. And that was it. That was his face, I guess, painted. I might have touched it up here and there a bit after it dried. So now I'm going with this guy's suit, and I'm gonna make him a leg and decide to make him a jumpsuit type of thing, and it's like a one piece. And I do the whole thing in gesso, his white t-shirt as well, and then I work on that, let that dry. I think I let that dry naturally, I can't remember. I'm just kind of working back and forth. I was like, what am I going to do with this suit? I know I got to kind of make it blending in, but what am I going to do with it? So I kind of just did the whole gold and black, and then a little bit of white in there, and that's what I did. Started working on his hair, and since the other guy was really white and kind of had that vampire feel, I made this guy have that vampire hair, the really big bump. And then I started painting her hair. I started off with a little red. I think I went more, toned it to brown, because I didn't want to blend in too much with the gold. But just playing with it, seeing where I can go with it. And I think I again went with the different golds in there that I had, the yellowy golds, and then with my raw umber on top, and eventually both of them got gold on top of their hairdo anyway. I liked the other guy's skin tone being so white, so then I made them both very white as well. Just liked it the way it looked, so I just continued with that. I had done a little bit of more painting, I think, off to the side at the end, but I might have caught a little bit of it. I think I did another little take of it. I thought it was done, and just to catch a little bit of playing with the facial stuff there that I'm doing now. At the end, I kind of just fixed up a little bit better. Doing the stream for a few hours with Nikki, I didn't get a chance to finish that quite up at the end, so I was kind of working on that after the stream. But I did like how white the other guy turned out, so I decided to do the same skin tone of just really pale white and gray. Very disguising these people, the characters, a lot, which was pretty cool. I don't think you'd know who they were. Perhaps the one character, I don't know, but I think I've disguised what would their names be in their TV show, Mulder and Scully, and I don't know their real actor's name, and you wouldn't be able to guess who they were. after me painting them. And I think that's a fun way of doing a different kind of collage, painting over it and that kind of thing. And that's why I wanted to do that today, just something different. I've done a few, but I haven't done overly many. And I'm glad I took the opportunity today to record this, because I don't usually record these, but I thought, hey, why not? Give it a try. And here we are. So I started blocking in the black in here, and I think it was like a carbon black. I just started blocking in his suit, and then going in with the golden yellow type thing there, and to read the color. I've told you they're the same colors, and I'm back and forth with adding a little bit more of the black and that kind of thing, and I'm just playing with it. In the original painting of the Golden Tears or whatever it was, I'm trying to think of the name, the suit, the man and the woman were embracing each other and kissing, and the suit really blend in and the dress really blend in, but they had a lot of collage aspect, or looked like they painted collage or something on it. It was really cool. So I was trying to go for that feel. One part I think I didn't get on the end is that I added a little bit of graphite with my watercolor brush around these two to get them pop a little bit more, because it blends quite well. So I just did that at the end, but I don't know if I have that in the record. So I'm grabbing my Posca pen, playing with it, and it's a little easier on the face in some spots because it's so thin and the paint's not drying on me kind of thing. And so I got to play with the Posca pen on the faces. And yeah, making them come out a little bit more to who they are, their character. Doing some outlining and just kind of getting the feel of them being there, and then I think I pretty much move on after this. I had no idea what I was going to do with the background at this point. I was just kind of not thinking ahead. I was stalling. I was really stalling, trying to figure out in my mind, like, what am I going to do with this background? I almost thought about taking a stencil out, but I did not. And this is a gray Posca, and I'm just going in with the shading with that, and my white, and my black, a little bit in that. See? So there's what the stencil I pulled on. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go with stencil. I grab a little bit of, I was doing more gold on the center here, scraping that on. And then I ended up grabbing some more of that gold and putting on that background behind that couple. And then really playing with it. And I'm really glad I didn't use a stencil. I just grabbed the card there. You can't really see, but I did put a blob of gold on there, and I'm doing swirls all the way around with a very long brush. A very thin and very long brush. There's my gold. And I'm just swirling it along. Different directions, just circles and swirls, just swirls. And that's another thing that actually kind of reminded me of that Tree of Life swirly thing. I'm using this paper as a mask so I could just kind of swirl right up against these guys and not be like, there's nothing up against them. So I later on take a cap of like one of my marker, actual twistable things, and I just dip it in. And then this is where I'm taking the cap, and I'm just dabbing circles in there amongst the swirls, really getting that gold in there. And I'm really happy with that. I'm drying it up because now in the next part I'm thinking about, make it a little bit more similar to the painting original. I want to put some black marks inside some of those swirly doos or whatever. So I'm just putting some black dotting here and there for interest with my Posca pen. And I'm really happy with it, this way this turned out. I went around, made some circles around some of those dots with a yellow Posca pen, and then I do kind of like a half circle with the orange Posca pen, just to bring a little bit more color out, but not too much. So what I'm doing here is I have the burnt umber, and I'm just scraping that on to darken this side up. And there's a lot of texture, and there's a little bit of black that's left over there too, and I realized I'm grabbing it off that palette and just using that black as well. And I'm just pulling a little bit on this side to match it up a bit on the edge, so it's kind of giving it like a frame. The brown, and I pull a little bit of that gold with my card now through, and I try and pull it through the hair, but I don't want it to be too full and chunky, so I really want it to be loose and not like a full coverage on his hair, so that's why I removed some of it. But then I found that I want to put a little bit of blue in the bottom of this side, kind of trying to mirror image what I've seen on the original painting, and I pull it to the other side, and it's my own little doing there. And I have this golden leaf stuff in this little jar here, and I take my decoupage and I make some little glue markings under his eye to get some crying tears. And that is from like a nail kit that I found somewhere on sale in the bargain place, and I just picked it up, and it's the first time I actually used it, I believe. Decoupage that gold in there, and I was so happy with it. I do paint a little eyeliner on the bottom of just right there in his eye, after I do swirls and some stuff on his hair, but I do paint a little eyeliner of gold under his eye, like what's that called? Waterline, I think it's called. Yeah, your waterline. So I do a little gold on there, and then I add some. I'm adding some. Before I do that, I'm adding some gold to their hair. So I mean, the hair just kind of evolved. I mean, his hair, I had it all really dark, and it went really light, but the gold really, I think the dark really need to be back there. So here's I'm doing the waterline on his eye, and that's about it. I'm so happy at this point. It's crazy. I was so happy with this piece. And I really hope you guys like it, because I mean, I was just ecstatic with it. After this part, I think I'm pretty much done the stream with Nikki, and then I just start touching up what I feel that I needed to do before I posted the picture of it. Super happy with this, how it's come out. Super happy, and there's a lot of golds in this paintings, and I'm thrilled. This is a fun challenge that we did together, and if you guys want to join us on that, we are on International Crafters together. You can see us both doing this project, and but like I said, I had to try to see if I can record it for my, there is my signature, for my channel as well, because I want to share it with everyone. So here I'm touching up them a little bit, and I wanted to record this. I wasn't going to do that, and I'm like, touched up a bit. So we'll see what I have all on here. I can't remember what I've got on there, but I know I play with it a little bit more. I get to move my camera down, I get to move my light down and look at their faces. When I'm recording on the stream, there was so much glare that I didn't really get a chance to do that much, get that up and close. Here it is. Yay, I got it. This really helped me feel that it was done. I got this graphite block here, and I just do water brush. It's a Tim Holtz water brush, and I just get this all around them, and I love it. It really makes it pop enough. It just adds that little bit more that I needed to make it just right. I was so happy. Yep, to me it just added that big, huge difference. At the very, very end, I spray it with a matte acrylic spray. Matte acrylic, trying to think of what it's called, sealer, spray sealer, and that is it. I hope you guys like it. Thanks very much for watching. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.